This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by former WBO World Cruiserweight Champion Johnny Nelson here at Box Park in Croydon. Johnny, always a pleasure. Had one show in the weekend. We're talking about another one only a matter of a couple of days on. How are you there?
I'm good. It's nice to be here in Croydon again. So never been in over some 3 times in a few months. So it's good to get these guys together in the mix doing a public workout. I give a certain fighters aren't turning up, so we'll see if it's just a rumour or if it's fact that are on the bill. But that's going to set things up for some juicy wind up for his opponent. So we'll just see. We'll see if it's true. I'm talking in riddles at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about when it actually happens.
Just walk me through what you actually expect to happen come the 21st, because going into this, are you surprised it's seen as a 50-50?
So the reason why I think it's seen as a 50-50 because Dan has been in the public eye. We've seen the rise of the success of him over the past year and a half, whereas Buatsi has been a little hasn't. So therefore, this Buatsi, when he was on his rise, the excitement, the attention, the potential, the fans were behind him. And once you lose that momentum of the fans and the belief in the fans, then they move on to the next one. People are fickle. So I can understand on the surface why that is the case, but I actually don't think it is the case on paper. And in reality, I think that actually suits Dan. I think that actually, and as Dan says, I think it just solidifies as far as what Buatsi is concerned that it isn't a 50-50. So we can only speculate.
How does Josh go about defeating Dan Azeez come the 23rd?
He's got to use brain over brawn. In his head, as far as he's concerned, he's a better fighter. He's always had one up over Dan, and so therefore, at times when he thinks I can stand there toe to toe with him, he needs to use his skills that have made him the fighter he is. Putting him number 2 in the world. He needs to use those skills, those boxing ability skills, and he'll win. If he gets thrown into a fight, then it makes the fight a lot closer and a lot harder than it should be. Now the problem's going to be mentally, he's thinking, but I can do this with this guy. But then you've got to remember what got you where you are in the first place. And if you stick to your basic skills of what you're good at, then that'll always get you through.
When Joshua Buatsi turned over into pro ranks, Johnny, there was a lot of excitement around him. He's seen his former GB teammates, Lawrence Okoli, pick up a world title. Joe Cordina's picked up a world title twice now. Do you feel like Joshua Buatsi's underachieved in the pro levels? So far, yeah. But he might be doing it at his own pace, and where it suits him. So it's not just about getting a world title; it's about keeping the world title. So far, compared to the others, yes, he has underachieved. But in reality, if or when he does win a world title, I believe he'll have it for a lot longer than the others. His other gym mates. How soon do you want to, if he was to be successful or not, how soon do you think he should be looking at world honours?
Well, after this, I think he should be at least have something sized up, lined up within at least 6 to 8 months, at least, and in regards to a world title, because you've got number 1 and number 2 fighting each other, why not?
We'll come on to kind of what could be in the future shortly, but just to stick with Dan Azeez, do you think it's a different type of pressure on him? There isn't really that level of pressure on him because he's just kind of not come up out of nowhere, but he's gone about it the hard way. He hasn't had that same backing that Joshua Buatsi's had, so it's somewhat of a fairy tale journey, shall we say?
I don't think it's a pressure on him. I think it's his career through and through. His career he's always been the one with a begging bowl, thinking, what, underestimate, make me, your peril. So it's a great position to be in if you're as strong man as he is. I've been him. So the attitudes from people, when you know that's what expected of you from people, then everything's a plus. So I don't think there's any pressure on him at all, apart from the personal one-on-one with Buatsi.
Anthony Yarde fight seems to be what could be next for either man. How exciting of a prospect is that for the victor of the 21st?
It's a fight that the fans have been talking about for quite a while, and for one reason or another, it's not happened. I keep saying you hear it from the horse's mouth, you hear it from the lion's mouth. So the fights are lions, and now when you hear a lion saying, I want to fight him, or I want to fight him, it's more believable than when the management are talking or the promotion team are talking, because they're usually the ones that mess it up. The fighters want to fight each other, so as far as Yarde's concerned, he's done his bit, he's put himself, he walked into his house, he walked into both fighters' house in Sky, sat down on their couch, talked to their TV and said, I want to fight you. So how much of a statement is that?
We haven't really seen Anthony Yarde challenge somebody at kind of domestic level who's of the ilk of, say, Buatsi, of Azeez and what have you. He's very much so jumped up from that English level straight into world honours fights, and he's put on terrific performances on both occasions. How do you think he fares against the winner of a Buatsi-Azeez? Do you think that lack of experience might be a downfall of his?
No, I actually think he's failed at top level, and so therefore he's thinking, you know what, I took a chance. I've taken the chance hasn't paid off, so let me just go back. So he's been in a position to box at top level, fail, and still be at top level at this level here, So therefore he's still in a great place, experience-wise and everything. He'll be the most experienced out of all of them when it comes to fighting each other.
Just touch on this past weekend, Johnny. Caroline Dubois returning with another victory. What did you make of her performance?
Unbelievable, outstanding. The heir apparent. Again, it was a wrist fight. I think the wrist fight in regards to Caroline, the risk paid off. She learned what she's getting away with, what she's not getting away with, what's right and what's wrong. So you've got to give where credit's due. She's done a great job. Now she's in a position where she can only go forward, she can't go backwards. And so for her, she has ambition, she has spite, so that's a good thing.
We're talking of a potential Katie Taylor fight for Caroline. How far off do you feel she is from challenging her for at least one of her more recognised titles?
I could say within a year, and that's because of the level of opponent that is there to challenge her. So she's still got a lot to learn, and so you're getting in with a Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor, when it comes to knowledge and ringcraft, she knows far too much, but Caroline has the youth, the ignorance, the naivety of youth. And so sometimes that actually is enough to get a fighter that's not their best, that knows more, but it's not the best. So and that's the gamble. It's another gamble that I would say just wait for Katie to wear down a little bit more, wait for it to run out a little bit more, wait to be a bit more shot worn. But these are fights that Caroline can win because she has every ingredient bar experience, which you can't buy, borrow, pretend to have.
Johnny, there was a show clash on Saturday night over at Wembley. We saw Opetaia stop Jordan Thompson in stunning fashion. What did you make of that? And do you understand the critics of people who have suggested why was that show put on because of the levels I've previously boxed?
No. So basically, when I saw that, they took a chance with Thompson. Thompson's a good fighter. So therefore they said, look, the chances are, the odds are against you because this guy's a good fighter. But if you pull it off, it's there. So he offered him an opportunity. It's not the end of his career. He took an opportunity early. I've done it. And you said if it comes off, great. If it doesn't come off, you learn from it. You've got to deal with the onslaught afterwards. So I totally understand them making that match. We saw Opetaia then go in there, do his job, show the difference in levels, and he introduced himself to a UK audience because potentially this could be a UK fighter's opponent. And so therefore he introduced himself. He showed his skill, showed his appetite, showed everything about him, what's needed to be to think, wow. And it makes you raise an eyebrow. So you're looking at levels, where would you rank who? And how do you rank him? I don't know. It's a case of Chris has got a title, Richard hasn't got a title, so would you put Chris at number 2? Lawrence Okole, would you put him at number 4 because he just lost the title? So it's how you juggle it all through. But you'd put Opetaia at number 1 with a performance like that because it was a commanding performance. But then you've got to think of the level of the opposition, so that's hence why he looked so good.
We know we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with CBS, but after the fight, Opetaia was quite adamant he wanted to face Chris Billam-Smith next. Whenever it happens, what do you make of an Opetaia-Billam-Smith fight?
I think it's a good fight. I think Chris Billam-Smith, again, is a fighter that's still got room for growth. We don't know what the situation is with he and Lawrence Okole in the rematch clause. We don't know what happens there. I would personally try and talk Lawrence into going up to Bridgerweight. Get him out of that mix because if Lawrence fights him again, I think Lawrence beats him because Lawrence didn't lose the first fight. No, so Lawrence didn't get beat in the first fight. Lawrence lost. And I saw Chris get hit a lot more than what he should have done in any kind of fight, and that worried me. So I thought he doesn't want to do that fight again. But then, how's it affected Lawrence's appetite? How's it affected Lawrence's outlook? And so that's why I would probably try and cajole Lawrence into the Bridgerweight division, and then these exciting fights with the others that are left. then try and get a mix, get a little party on with those boys.
Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk is signed, Johnny.
Is it really? Let's just wait and see. You've got to learn your lesson. It's not done until it's done. So let's just wait and see.
Would you be surprised then, or would you not be surprised if we weren't to see Fury-Usyk next?
Would I be surprised if we were to see Usyk and Fury next? Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Bob Arum has said that Tyson could stand to earn close to $200 million with both Ngannou and Usyk back-to-back. Just your thoughts on that, and how much you feel like you might have been born in the wrong era there, Johnny?
Listen, I love it when fighters earn big dough, because historically in our sport, the ones that end up broken on the arse are the fighters. The ones that make the money are the managers and the promoters. So I love it. I don't care who the fighter is. I love hearing that kind of stuff, because I think, yes, because we're the ones that put our heart and soul on the line. We're the ones that always end up on Skid Row that have got, and the amount of talented fighters that I know are broken, that have got nothing. So when I hear stories about the kind of money a fighter can pull in, good on him. You know, he's a prize fighter, but he's played the game. You know, no matter what you say against Ngannou, no matter what, he's getting paid well for it. On Ngannou's first professional fight. So as a fighter, as a prize fighter, good for him. It doesn't matter what the stick he gets, because you can blame his promoters, you can blame his management team, but he's still getting paid big money to do what he does and does well.
Wish you were born 15 years later.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that have lesser talented of Tyson that have got paid ridiculous money. But when I was around, there was guys that were much better than my fighters in my era that earned half that much. So it's just a sign of the times.
Just to stick with it, Opetaia has apparently been approached to spar Tyson Fury. Just get your thoughts on that.
I'm surprised. How does that benefit who? I don't know how it benefits him, but you know, for Opetaia, if it suits him, you know, it lets him get inside the camp and see what it's like to be in there with such a tall, athletic fighter like Fury, and vice versa for Fury with Opetaia.
All right, Johnny, we're going to wrap this up then. But just before I let you go, in fact, we mentioned earlier, kind of, you would not be surprised if a fight didn't go ahead, and people should learn their lessons. What do you make of the talk that they're trying to land that on the 23rd of December, which coincidentally is the day Eddie Hearn's speaking about for Conor Benn and Benn-Eubank Jr.?
Just watch this space. It's a play with words. Just watch this space. Don't be sucking in, people. Just watch this space.
All right, Johnny, it's a pleasure as always. I know you wanted to go get something to eat before this starts. I apologise for taking a bit longer of your time, so thank you.
Anytime. Bless.